There's energy, effort, expense. So why do we do it? I think there is a word that aptly describes what we're doing here tonight. It's the word connectivity. When we connect, there are powerful things that happen. Let me tell you the first thing that happens when we connect. When we connect, as we're doing right now, we promote love. Hebrews 10:24 tells us, "Let us consider one another." That was one of the writer's favorite phrases. He used it some 38 times in his epistles. Let us consider one another. My dad used to call it one another in one another. But did you know that when we connect, like we're doing right now, we're promoting love? Has anybody felt the love from God here tonight? Has anyone felt the love from others who are here tonight? That is so important, but that's what happens when we connect. Let me tell you the second thing that happens when we connect. When we connect, we provoke good works. I have been provoked to want to do more, be more, and experience more just by being here tonight. Because we can do so much more together than any of us can do on our own. So we are provoked to good works. And probably the most important thing that happens when we connect is we provide encouragement. Hebrews 10:25 tells us to forsake not the assembling of yourselves together, but exhorting one another. That word exhorting actually means encouraging one another. When you encourage someone, you are pouring courage into them. And I don't know about anybody else, but in a world like we're living in, I need a little encouragement from time to time. And when we connect like we're doing now, we are providing encouragement. Now, I usually don't do this because of time constraints, because I don't want you to get through before I do. Okay? But I want you to turn to two people and just simply say this: thank you for being here. Would you do that? Would you just turn to two people and say, thank you for being here? I apologize for my wife not being here. While you're praying tonight, would you just breathe a prayer for her? She's in Branson, Missouri, speaking to 300 plus women. They're having a conference there, and I know that she would love to have your prayers. She loves this church, and I do as well. She's always honored about every year to do the women's retreat for the church here. And I will tell her later on this evening, you had some special people praying for you. And I know that she'll certainly appreciate that. You probably heard the story of the little boy walking through his house with his baseball bat and baseball, proclaiming, I am the world's greatest hitter. I am the world's greatest hitter. Well, his dad watched him as he went into the backyard. He took his stance, throws the ball up, swings, and misses. Strike one, he cried. But what is strike one to the world's greatest hitter? Now he's a little more focused. He takes his stance for the second time and throws the ball up the second time, swings even harder than the first time. But he misses the second time, so he screams out, strike two. But what is strike two to the world's greatest hitter? Now he's serious. Now he is focused. He watches the ball intently. He digs in. He throws the ball up for the third time, swings even harder than the first two times, but he misses again. Strike three. He said, with disappointment, you're out. Then all of a sudden, he breaks into a smile, and he says, wow, I must be the world's greatest pitcher. Because I've just struck out the world's greatest hit. I think all of us, from time to time, need to change the way we think. I think all of us, from time to time, need an attitude adjustment. Because negative thinking means negative living. And the Bible has a lot to say about that. We're going to be looking at a story out of the book of Joshua this evening, Joshua chapter 6. But I want to begin by saying this. Did you know that life is a battlefield? Someone said life is a battleground and not a playground. Now, some battles are those that we choose to fight. Other battles are thrust upon us, and we have no choice but to fight. Think about it. There are battles in relationships. I don't know where I heard it, but years ago I heard these words. To dwell up above with those that we love, oh, that would be glory. But we dwell here below with those that we know. Now that's another story. Is that the truth or what? Then there are battles in finances. Those times when you've got too much money at the end of your money. I see some of you nodding your heads across this room. There are marriage issues and family challenges. In a marriage, it's when I do turns into you better. I think I saw a few elbows fly on that one. Spiritual issues. Mark it down. Whenever you start to make spiritual progress, get ready. Because there is an enemy, Satan, who will unleash his most vicious attacks, not only to disrupt you and deter you and discourage you and defeat you, but to literally destroy every one of us in this room. There are battles that we face physically, in our physical bodies. Those times when your brain says go and your body says no. And most all of us in this room have had to deal with emotional issues, like work. Or lost in the area of our minds. And the outcome is almost always determined in here before it is won or lost out there. The Bible tells us, as a man thinks, so is he. Most of the time, we are done in by negative thinking. And if we want to live lives of purpose, if we want to live lives of productivity and power, if we want our lives to have meaning and direction, we must learn how to overcome negative thinking. World War II General Marshall was fond of saying, if you know yourself and your adversary clearly, in 100 battles, you will win 100 times. Now, I believe God wants us to win all the time. Obviously, we're not going to win all the time. But it's God's plan and provision.